here with K2 Gold because the company did publish its first drill assay results coming out of the Mojave Project. Long time coming. Those results were published on August 18th, so about 2 days ago, and the market appreciated them and rewarded the company with some more stock buying. Actually made a new relative high here as of recently. We're going to go over these results here with CEO Mr. Anthony Margarit. Anthony, man, long time coming. We've done the anticipation here. We finally got the drill results. So I guess more congratulations. I mean, these things were pretty good and just to expand.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, Trevor, and really exciting times for K2 here. All three of those holes were off the same drill pad, so a true 40-meter step out into untested ground on the Dragonfly target area, and really starting to stretch that strike length out. I think at the Dragonfly target alone, we're over 400 meters of strike length, 39.6 at 5.35 grams. That's a 211 gram meter interval. So really happy to get that out there. And the other holes there were very strong as well. 10.67 meters at 7.7 grams, 18.29 at 3.77 grams. We're seeing close to underground grades and sometimes exceeding underground grades in an oxide gold deposit. So mineralization starts at surface, and pretty rare for an oxide gold deposit to get down to 200 meters in depth. So really happy with the way things are looking. We're getting down to the Newmont target area, so that's 3.5 kilometers south of Dragonfly and part of a 6.5 kilometer long corridor of mineralization. So very happy. A lot of results to come, and we'll keep on crushing through this.
Yeah, strong holes there at Dragonfly. What did the results confirm about this system that you suspected into the program? And if there was anything in there that surprised you at all, Anthony?
The one thing that surprised us is it looks like the structure is steepening up a bit. So our highlight hole from the previous round of K2's drilling at the Dragonfly target was that 87 meters at 4 grams. The core interval of that's about 45.7 meters of 6.68 grams. So, pretty similar between the core of it, but it does steepen up about 10 degrees. So that was a bit of a surprise to us, but not a huge surprise because we know down at the Newmont target area, like I said, 3.5 kilometers south, it's much more flat lying down there. So at Newmont, the structure is about 30 degrees, and then it steepens up as you head north. So it looks like it's continuing to steepen up as we move north into untested ground. But great to see the continuity here. And, I think it's really important to note that this is not one structure. They're parallel stack structures. And when you look at the cross-section in the news release there, you can see the lower grade blips in the holes downhole. There's 2 to 3 other structures that we're tagging down there. And nice to see the grades increasing on those as you get near to surface. So no real surprises, but just great, when you're stepping out on something into untested ground, especially after all the effort we put in to get back to work here, there's always a little bit of anxiety around that, but we're really happy to see it coming through and holding together the way we expected it to.
All right. So this is the first drill results for 6 years. Is that right, Anthony?
2020. Yeah, both roughly. Yeah, I think the final results came out in 2021 from the 2020 drilling. But yeah, it's been a while. We were going through the EIS process, but that's all behind us now, and we're moving through. This is, I think we're just over 2,500 meters of a 14,000 meter program on the first pass through this, and then we'll make some moves to move up to the Morningstar target and start testing that, which has never been drilled in recent history. And we've got a 2 kilometer long trend there with, I think it's really important when you think about Mojave that this is a massive system, right? It's a 6,000 hectare property. It's 100% owned. There's potential for a world-class deposit here, and that's why we put the effort into permitting this. If this was something average, K2 is a member of Discovery Group, long track record of success here, and a very strong team behind me, and we would not have have put the effort into permitting this project if we didn't think it was something really special and unique. And I think when you're thinking about world-class projects and what it takes to get there, I think you got to consider grade, which we definitely see, and the ability to continue making new discoveries and advancing the project. So we're focused on this 6.5 kilometer long East Side Gold Trend, but this is part of a very big system. We've got this. It's a true polymetallic system. When you look at the Morningstar target area, that's a silver, gold, copper system. So surface samples there grading over 2,000 grams per ton silver, up to 13 grams gold and 3% copper. That's in one rock sample. So very interesting area. And then we're really excited about the Flores target area, which is an extension of the East Side Gold Trend and has never been drilled. That's where Chris Taylor previously cut a 40 plus meter channel sample, grading almost 4 grams. So lots to test, a lot of room for expansion here, and just good to be back on the property drilling and seeing these
Yeah,
results. That's exciting.
well, I think, if and maybe let me know if this isn't fair to ask, but that w after that 2020, 2021 drill program, I mean, you had some outstanding hits that kind of hit right in line with this week's results. I mean, back, 6 years ago, there was 45 meters of 6.5 grams per ton, another 30.5 meters of just over 7 grams per ton. So these results that you published this week right in line with that. But I think one of the overhanging questions from that previous program was whether those near surface intercepts were isolated or if they were maybe something much more continuous. Do you feel like these results help answer did you answer those questions with these results, or is it something that still kinda needs to be put together with more drilling?
No, I think we definitely are confirming that, exactly what you just said, Trevor. We're confident in our targeting. Like, I guess the bigger picture here is when the fluids intruded into this system, the country rock that they intruded into is an absolute sponge for mineralization. So, you couldn't have picked or dreamt up a better host rock for those fluids to intrude into. And it's all structurally controlled. There's one major fault that runs through this corridor that we're expanding out on right now, and it's a conglomerate mesa fault system. It's called, and that's the main structure. But there are a number of cross-cutting structures on that. So, uh, yeah, I think we've confirmed that the system does extend, and that's the entire uh, point of this drill program that's underway right now is to continue expanding out on that, testing these parallel structures, expanding the width of this corridor mineralization that we see. As it stands now, it's at least 400 meters wide. And as I mentioned, 6.5 kilometers long. So, previously we talked about it being a 5 kilometer long corridor. That's from the Newmont to Gold Valley target areas. But if you include the Flores target, which is almost due east of Newmont at the south end of the trend, there's an additional kilometer and a half of strike length there. So that's if people are wondering where this additional kilometer and a half of strike length came from, it's the vertical from Newmont to Gold Valley, and then the horizontal from Newmont out to Flores that adds the additional kilometer and a half. So,
Mhm.
along with that, we've got a couple other targets. One very interesting one is to the west of the Dragonfly target area. It's a parallel structure, the Beasley target we call it after the geologist Lee Beasley that took the initial samples there. But we've got rocks grading up to 14.5 grams per ton gold, and that's very similar to what we see at the at in surface samples anyways at the Dragonfly target area. Flores as well has produced some tremendously high grade rock samples. So it's Flores is really shaping up to look like another Dragonfly style target. So
Mm.
really excited to get out and test that as well.
I guess my final question specifically with Dragonfly and obviously incredibly high grade oxide hits here.
Yeah, I think
Um,
thanks for bringing that up, Trevor, because it's a really important part of the story, right? Like
yeah. Well, how do you have any interpretation how deep the oxidation goes here?
none of the drilling in that whole east side gold trend has encountered sulfide mineralization. We're running
Not even
cyanide,
transition, not even a
not even
transition
transition,
area.
not even transition. Yeah, so we're
Wow.
running cyanide solubility on all of our drill holes. That basically we put a threshold. Anything that comes up with greater than zero point 0.1 grams per ton gold, we're running cyanide solubility on. back in 2020, 2021, the company did the same thing, and it was on um, limited samples, but the results were very encouraging, 96 to 98% recovery on it. So we'll have a much more comprehensive data set going forward, and I think we have plans to be running some of the historic drill material that we have. It's all RC drilling, so we're going to be running those couple select intervals from the historic holes with cyanide solubility too, to get a good idea on recoveries there. But so far, the Met is holding together very well.
Yeah. Still very early days with this campaign that originally budgeted for 14,000 meters here, Anthony.
Yeah,
So first three drill results. And you talked about a lot of the other targets that you'll be hitting
yeah.
here at Mojave, and you're already started, but it's going to be just really a lot of news with results and exploration work here over the next coming months here. Investors have waited very patiently through this permitting process to get to this point. Maybe walk us through the later half of 2026. Anything else? You mentioned some met testing, obviously drill results. Anything else that investors need to be having in the back of their mind here as news continues to hit the tape?
We'll be drilling for the rest of the calendar year, so a lot of news flow coming, and I think that's a key thing. Like, we don't intend to stop drilling anytime soon. We're making some moves right now to add a second drill to the program and get these results out to the market as fast as possible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it's uh, Chris Taylor called it the most exciting exploration gold project he's seen, and I think
Yeah,
we're
and
starting to be reminded why.
if people didn't see the webinar that we hosted on Wednesday, um, please, or sorry, it was Tuesday after the news release came out. Please have a look at our website. We've got a link to it there. It's also on our YouTube channel. Maybe we can post a link when this goes out as well. But I was really happy with the way the webinar went. Chris Taylor was on, John Robbins, myself, and Jim Paterson. Uh, a lot of good chat there.
Yeah, there's a few smart people in that group.
A little bit of success, in the room there.
All right, Anthony, you and I will be chatting quite frequently as drills continue to turn.
I look forward to it, Trevor.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mojave.
See you. All right, we'll see you. All right, K2 Gold trades on the Venture with KTO and on the OTCQX with KTGDF. I am a shareholder of the company. The company is also a partner of Mining Stock Daily. All right, we got more coming your way. Stay tuned.
Thanks.
The information presented should not be considered investment advice. Mining Stock Daily and its affiliates are not responsible for any loss arising from any investment decision in connection with the material presented herein. Please do your own research or speak with a licensed financial representative before making any investment decisions.